going back to mentorship real quick, because you mentioned Chelsea, you also mentioned there was somebody specifically that had a seat at the table and they were like, bet on Cara. I'm going all in on her. I'm going all in, pushing all my chips to the middle of the table on Cara. How was that relationship formed? That one specifically. Like, is this somebody that you were maybe was a manager of some sort and, just kind of developed their relationship? Or how did
Mhm.
that kind of come to be?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I met her my first day of being an apprentice, and she was the HR sponsor for the entire program, for the entire apprenticeship program. And I knew quickly because I was taught when I was 16 years old, a part of a women's empowerment organization. And I was taught very quickly that you need to identify who the stakeholders are in the room. By doing that, I then made sure that I reached out to this leader on a personal level and just said, "Hey, I really enjoyed what you said, and I look forward to working with you again." And from that moment, that sparked an immediate relationship with this person because there were other milestones that I had, and I already had rapport with her. And so I was able to share some of those wins. And then when it came time to her needing to understand the health of the program, understand what gaps may be visible, or I said that I need to get a question answered and I don't know who else to go to. So I'm just going to go all the way to the top. I'm going to go to the highest person up the chain that I know. And she got those questions answered for me. And so when it came to the point that I needed some questions answered, she then came back to me and said, "Well, what do you need? Give me a couple days." So, okay. She came back to me 24 hours later. "I got a role for you. Will you take it?" Yeah. Yeah. And I've only met this person one time in person.
We're just gonna
So,
leave that pause there for a minute. That's yeah, because I mean, it's like you just said one that the wisdom to know, like, yo, you need to identify who's calling the shots here in the room. Who are the people you need to
yeah.
know? Who are the people that need to know your name so that when you're working, that's part of the game. And I call it a game, but that's the way it works in corporate. You got to know, like, it's not just do your work. I love like the point you made about like let excellence be your mentor, but I also love that you put
Yeah.
like that's the first step, right? Like
Yeah.
you got to build the relationships with people, and you identified who is the person I need to build a relationship with. Somebody who's watching this, you may just be an email away from building that relationship with somebody who could really, has clout in the
Change the
organization.
trajectory. Change the trajectory of your life. You are only an email away from being in the midst of somebody that can change the trajectory of your life. Please bet on yourself.